Oh my gosh, I feel like I've got my knees up in my chest. I'm so used to the GS. What's up guys, welcome to the channel. American Abroad here, bringing you some new content. Today we are going to do a review on my buddy's bike, which is the S1000RR. Super excited to give that thing a try. Today we're gonna go do some twisty roads. All right, what's up guys? So I don't know what the heck is going on with my GoPro. There's always quirks about these GoPro cameras and I lost quite a bit of footage, but I'm gonna try and give you guys a quick review of the S1000RR. Look, this bike is incredible. Like once you get it up to like 6,000, you know, even more, like 6,500 to 8,000 RPMs. I mean, this bike just keeps morphing the more higher RPMs. Even after 8,000, it just jumps. I mean, this thing's got so much power. That 205 horsepower really shows in this bike. It's absolutely ridiculous. So if you're wanting a bike that is like a track bike and that's what you're gonna be using it for, I would say, man, this is incredible. It's even got a more track-oriented seated position, so your knees are really high. And for me, being a taller rider, it was really uncomfortable actually. So my buddy is quite a bit shorter and he loves it. The bike fits him perfect. I can tell that the wheelbase is a bit shorter on this bike because I'm kind of more forward on the front tire, and I prefer something more like a CBR or even Gixxers or even the HP4, which is BMW as well. It's a really nice bike and it has a little bit of a longer feel. So for me, being somebody who is a little bit taller, I felt much more comfortable on those bikes. The color wave on this bike, I mean, this is an absolutely killer looking bike. It has got incredible colors. It really pops. When you ride it down the road, everybody's looking at it because it is a stunning motorcycle. I mean, it is beautiful. If you want something to corner hard on and go fast, I mean, this is the bike. It is so quick. I know the HP4 has pretty much got the same horsepower, but, and I have ridden that bike as well. Would love to do a review on the future. So it's one of my buddy's bikes. Hopefully I'll get it and I'll be able to do a review for you guys. Look, I've ridden a lot of crotch rockets. I really enjoy them for what they are, but they're not something that I would necessarily go out and buy. I'm much more happy with a tour. I like to do adventure rides. I like to load up and kind of haul down the road and really do like endurance rides. And so these kind of bikes just don't fit me, but I do love riding different styles of bikes and I love bringing new content to you guys. So if this is a bike you're looking at or you're looking for a track bike, it's really nice. Just again, if you are a little bit of a taller person, maybe give this one a miss or take it out for a ride before you go ahead and buy it. All right, so super excited to try this thing out. We'll do a walk around here in a little bit. Got the analog display on this. You go first, you lead the way. Much more forward lean. Oh my gosh, I feel like I've got my knees up in my chest. I'm so used to the GS. I feel like my knees are in my chest, like 100%. Wow, this thing really revs up quickly. One thing I will say is I can feel it. The engine, actually, unlike some of the other, you know, super bikes that I've ridden. I mean, I'm way too tall for this thing, man. Like, that's one thing I will say right off the bat. I am too tall. Quick shifter's nice and smooth on this puppy. Wow, it runs hot, man. My knees are burning. My buddy, of course, has been riding it now for a little bit today, but my knees are absolutely scorching right now. Like, it's actually super uncomfortable how hot this thing is. Unlike like a CBR, which I've ridden a CBR 600 or 650. I can't remember now, but I've ridden some of the CBRs, a couple different ones, and man, this thing, those at least feel a little bit longer. This feels really short in the front. Like, I feel like I'm hanging over the front wheel, which is not my favorite riding position. I've ridden some, got a little bit of stuff on the road here. The clutch, super short. I'm pretty sure that can be adjusted, but you know, I think he's got it set up like a race bike or something. I know he was out doing a track day the other day on some of these bikes, so sounds nice. Got a nice little sound to it. Picks up quite fast. Oh my gosh, we've literally got a horse and buggy in front of us. Yep. The things you see in Portugal. Alright, yeah, this clutch is like way different than my GS. Of course, that's my bike, you know, like I love that bike. And he loves this bike, my buddy, so this bike was actually designed by BMW to compete in the Supermoto Championship in 2009. So, and then they came out with a consumer version so that people could get out and get one for themselves, as you do. I mean, look, that's why most people do those kind of races, is because they want to sell more of their products. So the gear switches, you know, very familiar to me. They're pretty much the same setup, just at a different angle from the GS. Let's give it a little bit of gas. Wow. Wow. She really comes alive. Like, I wasn't even looking at the RPMs, but she really comes alive around like 6,000 RPMs. This thing just turns into a different animal, completely different. I mean, it's got a little bit of a gap there, but then once it hits hard, man. Brakes, pretty sharp. You know, look, I could see where if you're all about speed, man, and you really want a bike that can corner well and go fast, I mean, shoot, this is a great bike, and I love BMW quality. Let's go left here. Got a cool palace up here we can drive by. And she looks great. She's an absolutely gorgeous bike. Of course, in 2019, they hadn't fully gone over to the TFTs in the S1000RR. 2020, I believe, is when the TFT started becoming standard in these bikes. So if you're looking for a TFT screen, bump up to that 2020 model. Of course, you got to remember that when you're riding these bikes, you really have to use your core to hold yourself up. You're not holding yourself up by the handlebars, or you'll just get so exhausted, and it'll make you ride real funny if you're not cognizant of that. You know, make sure you're using your abs to hold yourself up on these things, which I'm not used to because I'm always on the GS. You know, I'm more just seated on the bike and use my knees and my core. I still try and use my knees and my core a lot, but alright, let's see if we can pull over somewhere up here. Let's see if I can pop right up here. This thing's fast, bro. Huh? It's fast. But dude, it's so hot.
Yeah. You really need to be always pushing it.
Yeah.
Because if you go slow, like in third gear for a long time,
yeah,
it gets really hot.
Okay, yeah. I can feel it. Like, I mean, I was running higher gears, but man, it was warm.
Yeah. Because she really needs, like, she needs to be revving.
Yeah. I mean, it's a race bike. It needs that. Here's the two bikes together. Great day for a ride. I absolutely love, let's do a quick walk around. So I absolutely love the front headlights, like so classic, super iconic, and it just looks different. It's really got that kind of buggy look in the front, really, really nice. And yeah, the color wave is just so cool, really cool. And then of course you've got BMW build quality. The engine just looks really, really nice. Check that out. I love all this here. This looks really beefy, but yeah, really nice. You've got the Brembos on the front and the back. Of course, mine's a 2019 as well, but I've got the BMW brakes on the front. But absolutely beautiful bike. If this is a bike that you're looking for and you're into speed and cornering and you want something that's more race oriented, you want to do some track days, man, I could see where this bike would be absolutely incredible for any of that. If you guys are ever over here, you're doing some great riding, the roads around here are amazing and it's beautiful. This was actually a palace that was built by one of the kings after he had a son, and it was meant to be much smaller, just a monastery, which is kind of this section right here. And then they just discovered a lot of gold down in Brazil, so he actually ended up making it much bigger than what he anticipated. So his palace quarters were like up in there, and then of course huge walkways all the way across. It's beautiful if you're inside. Tours are super cheap. I think they're like $8 a tour. So if you're in the area in Portugal and you want to check out a cool monument, this one's definitely incredible. Mafra Palace. See, the frame of the bike is actually right here where your legs sit, so that's probably why I was feeling that heat so much. But yeah, like we were just talking about, we were just comparing the difference between the two bikes, because my buddy was riding my bike, of course, and getting a feel for the 1250, and he was just saying how easy it is to ride, but a little bit different. Like, you really have to lean more on this bike as opposed to this bike. You know, you just kind of move the handlebars a little bit more, and super easy to ride, versus you got to be a little bit more skilled on something like this.
Yeah, it does the same thing. That one is easier to, you know, maneuver and choose all the options with the wheel.
Right. So you have the Wonder Wheel on this one.
Yeah, this really helps.
Yeah.
Because my wife, if she tried the other one first, she wouldn't let me buy this one. So I had to buy this one, so she felt uncomfortable, and then she would have me buy a second bike for her too.
Right, because this seat is way smaller than this passenger seat.
Yeah, there you go.
So good. That's how to handle a woman, right?
This is how you handle it. Everyone before I get married, they were like, oh, she won't let you ride, she won't let you buy a bike. What did I do? I bought this bike before I married her, and now since I married her, she wants a second bike for her to ride.
Right, see, there you go. Now you get two bikes. Good deal. His dynamic in that bike is like my road. So he doesn't have a road mode on that bike, because of course it's like geared more, like he's even got ride modes on the S1000 that has basically you can ride slicks if you want, like for track days. So I mean, and it turns off all the electronics, so it's just pure machine for the track. So I mean, that thing is really built for the track. If you are interested in having a bike you can take to the track, I think that bike would be incredible. So just reading off a list here of different bikes that you can get, and you know, so the fastest bike, super bike in the world right now is the Kawasaki Ninja H2R, top speed 222 miles an hour. The Honda CBR 1100 XX Blackbird, which is top speed is 190, and then you've got the BMW S1000RR, the one I was riding today, top speed is 190, or I think on BMW side it says 197. So you know, either way you cut it, that is really fast to be exposed on a motorcycle. Like, that's super fast. The fastest I've ever been on a bike is like 140. So you know, that's and I was like hanging on for dear life. So 190, that is really freaking fast on a motorcycle. Yeah, definitely wouldn't do that anywhere but on a track, because yeah. But the new Kawasaki Ninja, man, that puppy looks so cool. They just had it in the new Top Gun movie, which is kind of cool. So there are a lot of options out there, as you can see, with really fast bikes. Most of the time you can get these bikes a little bit cheaper in the US than you can here, but you know, it just kind of depends what season you're buying in and from bike to bike. So you guys let me know, is it worth it? Do you feel like this bike is actually worth the money? Is it something you'd put your money into, or are there some other bikes out there that you actually really like that you would be interested in trying out for less money? You know, we're all looking for a good deal. We're all looking for what we want at the price we want it. So is this an option for you? Is this kind of bike, do you think that it really holds up to the hype? I think it's absolutely incredible, and I've never ridden something that fast before. It was really, really a cool experience. All right, guys, so just got done. We went out for a ride with the S1000RR and had the GS with us as well. So we were switching back and forth between the bikes, and really, really fun bike. If you guys are looking for a great track bike or a great around town bike, it's really, really nice. How tall are you?
5.6.
Okay, 5'5", 5'6", something. I'll put the conversion down below. But this is a great bike for him. He says he feels super comfortable on it. Me being 6 foot, it's a bit, or 180 centimeters, it's a bit hard. Like, I really had trouble feeling comfortable on this bike because I was just, my knees were up in my chest. It was too much. But, you know, I'd probably go for something more like the HP4 if I was wanting something a little bit more comfortable for someone my height. But it's a great track bike, man, like super fast, like we talked about earlier. You know, it was scary. I put the video in here as well. It's a little bit scary when you start getting really, this thing is so fast. It's so ridiculous. Like, I couldn't believe how much power I had in it. 205 horsepower. I mean, 205, that's crazy. Compared to the GS, which has 137 or 136. I think at the wheel, that's like at the drive, the forward drive. So I think actually at the wheel, it only puts out like 132. But 205 horsepower, and you can feel it once you hit like 6,000, between 6,000 and 8,000, the bike just keeps turning into a different bike and just goes fast, fast, fast. So really great bike. If you guys are interested, you know, throw some comments down below if you are a taller rider that has ridden this bike. Would love to hear your thoughts. So click that like button down below and click subscribe if you want to stay with the journey. Ride safe, and we'll see you on the pavement.